My name is Rick Roden. I'm the president and CEO of the Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce here in Scottsboro, Jackson County, Alabama. And obviously, we all know that we're in uncharted waters. We're going through times that we never dreamed we'd ever go through. And certainly, our businesses are experiencing things that they never dreamed that they would experience. The Chamber of Commerce is all about business. When this hit, and all of a sudden we realized what was happening, our first concern was with our businesses. And so we thought that we would change some things, had no idea how much we were going to change because we've actually taken a complete 180 from what the chamber normally does. And now we're all COVID-19 response. That's everything we're doing. We want to do this to give everyone a chance to hear an update of what's going on, what the chamber is doing, but also more importantly to hear back from you. I know a lot of you have questions. I've gotten calls today. Debbie Ashburn, our membership director, is calling every single chamber member we have, and they've got questions on how to apply for some of these things, how to apply for the SBA disaster loans, the Paycheck Protection Program. So we want to try to help our businesses, and that's the purpose of this update, and to answer your questions. If you watch this as a replay, we can still answer those questions. So just reach out to us. We will be more than happy to do everything that we can do to help you. But that's what we're here to do. I continue to work from the office here at the Chamber building. It's kind of strange because I'm the only one here most of the time. We're going on the third week, so it's kind of quiet, but it is different. My staff continues to work very, very hard from home, and they're doing a great job. Sarah Stahl is doing a phenomenal job on getting information out. That's her job. She set up this particular briefing here, and she will be getting this information out to you as our chamber members. Just to update you on what all we're doing, one of the very first things we did, we realized that restaurants are going to be hit very, very hard. So one of the very first things we did going on 3 weeks ago, we called every single restaurant in Jackson County. We call them to find out if they're open, if they have drive-throughs, if they have curb pickups. Are they part of Go Native? And in fact, we signed up several people on Go Native as a result of this. Perfect timing to be on Go Native to have delivery of the foods that they prepare to the citizens of Jackson County. So we now have a restaurant grid. We've updated it, I know, at least 2 times, maybe 3 times. We put that out on social media. If you'll go to our website, www.mountainlakeschamber.com, that restaurant grid is also on our website. You can look to see who's open, who's not, who delivers, who has curb pickup, who has drive-throughs, because our restaurants are very, very hard hit. And then I'll say this, please do business with our restaurants. Have a takeout Tuesday or a takeout Thursday or any day of the week. Please call them. Pick up dinner on your way home from work, because these places are really suffering. They're hurting probably as much as any of our businesses, and we certainly want to encourage you to go by and do business with them. And then when we're out through this mess, when this is past us, my goodness, do business with them and do business with all of our small businesses. We also did the same thing with our grocery stores. We called every grocery store in Jackson County to find out who's open, who's not. Do you have special hours for senior citizens? Two of our grocery stores, Foodland and Walmart, have grocery pickup to where you can actually order online. You can pick it up. And then we had some concern from our representative, Tommy Haynes, that he's got a big heart, and he was concerned that some of our senior citizens were not going to be able to get groceries, or even worse, they would go out on their own when they are one of the vulnerable ones and grocery shop on their own. So he reached out to us, and we have set up a grocery pickup where we have volunteers, Tommy being one of them, our representative, and some other volunteers that are going and picking up the groceries for these people and delivering it to their house. Like I said, Tommy has a big heart, and he wanted to make sure we were taking care of our senior citizens. We also called our pharmacies, doing the same thing with them as we do our grocery stores, to make sure people know who's open, do they have special hours for senior citizens, and we want to make sure that people are still able to get their medications as needed. We put together a countywide conference call. I talked to Senator Steve Livingston and told him I thought it was very, very important that we reach out to the rural communities. Jackson County is a huge county, and we have 13 municipalities. That's 13 mayors, 13 city councils. And we put together, with his help, a great countywide conference call. We had almost 60 people on this conference call. And Senator Livingston lined up Brooks McClendon, who's a state liaison for Governor Kay Ivey's office, Dr. Eric Mackey, Alabama State Superintendent, Deputy Director Greg Cochran, and Public Affairs Director Kayla Bass with the legal municipalities, John Anderson, the CEO of Highlands Medical Center. We put this conference call together. I gave an update on everything that the chamber was doing. And we included every mayor, every city council, police chiefs, fire chiefs, school superintendents, the hospital, the technical school, just everybody that we felt like needed to hear from someone on a state level, but especially these mayors and city councils out in the county that are in rural communities that needed to hear something from a state official to be able to answer their questions. And there were lots of questions, and we tried to get back with them with those answers. So I thought it was very, very important that we put together this conference call, and we may do another one. Some of the mayors had indicated that they would like to do a conference call with the mayors just to share best practices. Certainly commend Mayor Ricky Steele in Stevenson. He has stepped up, and he's literally going and washing down and sanitizing every business in Stevenson to try to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So a lot of people have stepped up. I'd like to also commend one of our local industries. I got a call from Terry Couch, who happens to be on the board of directors, but he's the plant manager for Johns Manville. He reached out to me and needed a contact at the hospital. They thought that they might be able to change what they were actually producing, which, by the way, they produce industrial roofing. And they have worked and changed, and they needed a contact, so I got to put him in touch with John Anderson at the hospital. And they're now producing PPEs, which is personal protection equipment for our hospital personnel. So they are to be commended for stepping up. We've got other businesses that are stepping up. Just yesterday, we had a local restaurant that was giving out free lunches to our first responders, just as a drive-through. Gear Jammers did that. We've got other places, businesses like Southern Heating and Cooling that stepped up and buying gift cards to do business with the businesses that are struggling, but giving out gift cards around the community. And there's many others. Sarah has started a blog, so you can go online and look at that blog and see many, many others that have stepped up to try to help this community during this crisis. And it's very, very important. One thing, when you have a crisis in your community, you see how good of people we do have here in Scottsboro and Jackson County, and we live in a great area. And it's like that all over the state of Alabama, and people have really, really stepped up. We did a conference call yesterday with Secretary Fitzgerald Washington, who's the Secretary for the Alabama Department of Labor. And he was questioning, or actually giving us answers to questions about filing for unemployment. And what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to reach out to our Career Center and set up a conference call where people can call in about filing for unemployment, because there are lots of people been laid off. The rules have changed. They've tried to enhance the unemployment, but people have a lot of questions. And just to let you know how bad it is, in the last 4 weeks in the state of Alabama, there have been 264,000 claims filed for unemployment. To put that in perspective, there were 130 claims filed in the entire year of 2019. 264,000 in the last 4 weeks. So it's tragic. But if anybody has any questions, they can go to that website, www.labor.alabama.gov, and we'll try to continue to supply information there. The two biggest things that businesses are applying for are through the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and that's the disaster loan application and the payroll protection program. Those are your two biggest things. That's having more questions than anything. I highly recommend anyone that is looking at filing for either one of those, first of all, contact your banker. Most of you have bankers. If you own your own business, contact your banker. They're trained on providing you information for SBA loans, and especially for these two programs. But also go to the website asbdc.org, and up in the right-hand corner, click on Slides and Training Events, and then on that, click on-demand recorded seminars for the Disaster Loan and Paycheck Protection Program. That video literally walks you through step by step how to apply for these loans. They're written very, very well to help businesses up to $10 million. Portions of it are forgivable, and the applications are due by June the 30th. So still got a little bit of time, but what we're hearing also from the U.S. Chamber, and we're actually right now lobbying and contacting our congressman, that's probably going to run out of money. We're already seeing and hearing that there are some businesses that are applying and not getting what they request because of a lack of funds. So we're now advocating to our congressman to increase the dollars on those two programs, the PPP and the EIDL, the disaster loan application or disaster loan program, because that's going to be running out. But there are some great things. Interest rate is fixed at 1%. Payments are deferred for 6 months. There's just some really, really good things. And these loans can be used for payroll costs, including benefits, interest on mortgage incurred before February the 15th, rent under lease agreements, utilities. So contact your banker, and hopefully they will be able to give you information that will be very, very helpful to you as you survive this crisis. One other thing that I'm involved in, I got a call yesterday afternoon from our congressman of the 5th Congressional District, Congressman Mo Brooks, and every congressman in the state of Alabama for all 7 districts has been assigned by the governor of Alabama, Governor Kay Ivey, to put together a congressional district advisory group, and this is to assist the governor in regarding economic and COVID-19 issues. We had our first conference call today, and we have been charged by the governor to look at her orders that came down about a week and a half ago, to look at those and see what needs to be changed, see what needs to be tweaked, see what needs to be done away with, because we're looking at coming out of this thing hopefully sooner than later. And it's not just a matter of, okay, everything's good, you can open up and we go back to doing business. There's a lot more to it than that. You have to look at supplies, you have to look at hospitals that have been basically shut down except for the COVID-19 issues or emergencies. Make sure they have the supplies to be able to do surgeries. I was on the call today. One of the people on the call was Dr. Eric Jansen. He's an orthopedic surgeon, and he said he has 500 cases pending for surgery. And that's at Huntsville Hospital. So we have got to make sure that the supplies are there, and that's not only for our hospital, that's for our grocery stores, that's for all the stores that have been closed down. So our group, our committee is assigned to assess these orders that came down and see what needs to be changed, but see what needs to be put in order so that when we do open up for business, we're able to do that, and we're able to make sure that we do it smoothly. It's going to be tough no matter what, but we want to make it as easy as possible to our small businesses and our industries. These are treacherous times for our community and for the whole country, for the whole world for that matter. So we want to make sure as a Chamber of Commerce that we make things as easy as possible, and we help our businesses go through a time that they've never gone through. So if you have questions, we may not have the answers here. We're certainly not experts on SBA disaster loans, but I promise you if you will call us, we will do our best to get those questions answered, put you in front of a webinar or a recording of a webinar that we've seen, get you the answers that you need to make sure that you survive as a business. We unfortunately feel like we're probably going to lose businesses all across this country. And it's such a sad thing that of no era that they have done, they are struggling, and some businesses are not going to make it. But we want to minimize that and make sure that we help save as many businesses as we can. One last thing before we wrap this thing up, another thing that the Chamber is doing, I wanted to reach out and look and see if we could come up with some dollars to be able to put together a small business relief fund. We do some R&D here at the Chamber, and that's called Rip Off and Duplicate, and I've got some colleagues that have done this in other communities and other chambers. So we reached out to one of our local industries, and they stepped up big with a donation to this small business relief fund. It's kind of the seed money to get it started. It's in the beginning stages right now. We're putting it together. Hopefully we'll be able to release it soon to where you can see what's available so that some of our small business businesses can apply for some disaster relief locally, and we hope to be able to have some more dollars. Now, what we encourage those businesses and industries that are not being hurt by this pandemic, if you would like to donate to our Small Business Relief Fund, please call me here at the Chamber or email me. We would love to have other donations so that we can add to our initial seed money and be able to help more businesses and have more money to help businesses. So we encourage you to do that. We hope to be rolling that out hopefully sometime next week. Sarah is putting together a page where you can apply for this small business relief money. So keep on the lookout for that. But most of all, for you businesses that are being successful during a pandemic, that may have some extra dollars, that you would want to reach out and help our small businesses, because they're the ones suffering so bad. Those businesses between 1 and 50 employees, some of them are just getting crushed because of this pandemic. So be on the lookout for our Small Business Relief Fund as we roll it out hopefully next week. And if you're able to or would like to talk more about participating in that and donating to that Small Business Relief Fund, please give me a call here at the Chamber. To end, I encourage everyone to stay safe. Make sure that you keep 6 feet away from everyone. Wear a mask when necessary when you go shopping, gloves when necessary. The most important thing is we want to make sure that people protect themselves and save lives. But in the meantime, let's get ready for a recovery. Let's talk about when this thing's going to be over. Let's talk about bringing things back to the way they were before this. The challenges of low unemployment, where we don't have enough workers for the jobs, rather than high unemployment when people are laid off because they cannot work because of this crisis. Again, stay safe. You have questions, call us here at the Chamber. Feel free to call. I'm here every day, 256-259-5500. And I'll even give you out my cell phone number, 256-628-1212. Call us, email us. My email address is roden@scottsboro.org, RODEN@scottsboro.org. But especially Sarah Stahl has done a great job of doing a landing page on our website that's got every update that we get on a daily basis of all questions about the coronavirus and about the pandemic. So go to www.mountainlakeschamber.com. Again, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to serve this community, and stay safe.